Hi, it's Katrina! Dolphins are incredibly intelligent animals with brains almost the same size as a human's, and they've made numerous headlines for their amazing achievements. From saving people from shark attacks to rescuing dogs from drowning, here are 8 amazing real-life dolphin stories. Number 8. Rescuing humans from sharks. In 2014, athlete Adam Walker was going on an open water swim for a special event. The 8-hour and 36-minute-long swim in the Cook Strait of New Zealand was rather uneventful until he noticed what appeared to be a 6-foot-long great white shark lurking nearby. That'll get your heart rate going. Then, suddenly, a group of about 10 dolphins surrounded Walker and started swimming alongside him, causing the predator to flee the scene. The dolphins continued to surround the athlete for the next hour, ensuring his safety after his close call with the shark. It's funny because Walker at the time was swimming to support a global non-profit organization called Whale and Dolphin Conservation, so the two parties are mutually helping each other in different ways. It's not unheard of for dolphins to save humans from vicious sharks in the waters off New Zealand. 4 lifeguards were rescued in 2004 by a pod of dolphins that encircled them and warded off a shark that was swimming dangerously close by, investigating. In 2007, a school of bottlenose dolphins stopped a shark attack on surfer Todd Endress after he was bitten by the shark. The dolphins protected him while he swam to shore and sought emergency first aid. Thanks to the dolphins, Endress survived the attack. Number 7. Dog rescued by dolphins. Dolphins aren't just known for rescuing humans. When an 11-year-old Doberman pinscher named Turbo found himself in a bind back in 2011, a group of dolphins saved the day. Turbo had ran off, and his human companion, Cindy Burnett, discovered him missing when she arrived at her Florida home at 2 o'clock in the morning one day. He was missing for over 15 hours when a neighbor who lived several streets away heard splashing noises coming from a nearby canal. She discovered Turbo stranded in the shallow water and surrounded by dolphins, who allowed the woman to climb into the canal and retrieve the dog. Then she dialed 911. Turbo was shivering and distressed and had some cuts and scrapes on his legs and paws, but he emerged from the ordeal mostly unscathed, thanks to the dolphins, who made enough of a ruckus to alert his owner's neighbor. If they hadn't been there to help poor Turbo, who seemed to have been stuck in the water for quite some time, he may have drowned. Number 6. Dolphin saves drowning boy. Nearly 2 decades ago, a 14-year-old boy named Davide Cecchi lost his grip as he hung from the side of his father's motorboat and fell into the Adriatic Sea off the southeast coast of Italy. Davide's father, Emanuele, didn't notice that his son had fallen overboard. A bottlenose dolphin, known to the local fishermen as Filippo, rushed over to the boy, who was unable to swim, and pushed his body toward the surface of the water. When the boy realized it was Filippo, he grabbed onto the dolphin, who then pushed him back towards his father's boat. Once Davide had been returned to safety, Filippo didn't stick around to receive any due praise. Instead, the humble protector quickly turned around and swam away. Until this incident, 850-pound Filippo was simply a local celebrity and tourist attraction who had been hanging around the area's waters for about 2 years, ever since he was separated from a school of dolphins that had been passing through. But the dolphin's quick thinking and swift efforts quickly elevated him to the status of an internationally known hero. Number 5. Military dolphins. 4 countries are known to have trained dolphins for military purposes: the United States, the Soviet Union/Russia, Ukraine, and Iran. In 1960, the U.S. Navy began using bottlenose dolphins for things like mine detection and for helping to detect submarines, underwater weapons, and suspicious objects and people near ships and harbors. Out of more than 19 marine animals that had been tested for these types of work, including some sharks and birds, dolphins and sea lions were determined to be the most suitable. Dolphins were especially useful for detecting underwater mines due to their highly evolved biosonar. It was the height of the Cold War, so naturally the Soviet Union followed suit. The Soviet Navy opened a research facility to explore the possible military uses of marine mammals in 1965. When the Soviet Union fell, their military dolphin program was taken over by the newly established Ukrainian Navy. Retired Colonel Victor, who supervised the dolphin program during the Soviet and post-Soviet periods, claimed in an interview with AFP that the dolphins could detect abandoned torpedoes and sunken ships in the Black Sea, as well as plant explosives on enemy vessels. According to baronets, the training center was neglected following the Ukrainian takeover of the project. In 2000, the program's dolphins were reportedly sold to Iran, and the chief trainer relocated to the new oceanarium to continue his research. In 2012, Ukraine re-established their military dolphin training center, which fell back under Russian control in March 2014, when Russia annexed the now formerly Ukrainian Crimea region. The Russian government fell under suspicion of the media in 2018 when they purchased 5 more bottlenose dolphins without explanation, indicating that they perhaps had plans to expand the program. The U.S. Navy Marine Mammal Program, based in San Diego, currently has around 75 trained dolphins. In addition to their continued use for detecting underwater mines, the dolphins are also trained in object recovery and to rescue lost naval swimmers. Number 4. Dolphin-assisted human births. There is a growing trend of people who believe in the healing power of dolphins and are attributing them with almost magical or spiritual powers. Star Newland is the founder of the Sirius Institute, located in Hawaii, which focuses on establishing cohabitation environments between humans and dolphins. According to the Institute's website, this means the facilitation of people and porpoises learning from one another through music, underwater birth, dolphin sound healing, and restoration. In May 2013, Time magazine featured an article about one couple, Heather and Mike Barrington, who relocated to Hawaii months before their baby's July due date to participate in the program. The couple regularly spent time in the water, getting to know and connect with the dolphin pod, whom they hoped would form a bond with their newborn baby when the time came. Some of the alleged benefits of dolphin-assisted birth that are listed on the Sirius Institute's website are pretty extreme, including children born in the water with the dolphins develop 6 months faster over their first 6 months, have perhaps 150 grams more brain weight, and are ambidextrous. The site also claims that dolphins have the miraculous ability to heal conditions such as Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, and autism. Is there any merit to these purported benefits of dolphin-assisted births? Nobody seems to know, and it's unclear if any couple has successfully experienced a water birth in the company of dolphins. An interest in the practice has, however, grown in popularity in recent years, along with increased participation in prenatal bonding with dolphins. Still, prospective candidates for a dolphin-assisted birth are cautioned by skeptics, and perhaps people equipped with basic common sense, about the risks associated with the procedure, including waterborne illnesses, drowning, and the sometimes unpredictable behavior of dolphins. Despite their typically friendly demeanor, they are smart, and they can also be cruel. Number 3. Fishing assistance. In Laguna, Brazil, dolphins help fishermen with their yearly fish catch. Researchers aren't sure why, but a group of 20 dolphins eagerly help with the task, while all other dolphins remain uncooperative. Working together, the dolphins herd groups of a fish called mullet, an important local source of food, toward fishermen who are lined up either in boats or in knee-deep water. Then, the dolphins tell the fishermen when and where to throw their nets by signaling with specialized head or tail slaps. According to researchers, the dolphins and fishermen are dependent upon each other. Fabio Daura Jorge of the Federal University of Santa Catarina in Brazil noted in a 2007 statement to Live Science that nearly 200 fishermen rely exclusively upon the dolphins. Otherwise, they can't fish without them. They know them so well they recognize them by their markings and can identify them with the naked eye. This collaboration has existed for a long time, according to Daura Jorge, who also pointed out that the dolphins have names and that some have been helping the fishermen for over 15 years. Researchers ultimately identified 3 distinct social groups of dolphins in Laguna, one of which was compiled entirely of dolphins that are cooperative with the fishermen. They determined that the helpful activity is either learned or inherited, but that it's not environmental. Much like elder fishermen pass their skills onto younger ones, it's thought that dolphins teach their calves to assist with fishing. Number 2. Dolphins helping dolphins. I'm sure you figured out by now that dolphins have the capacity to be incredibly helpful to humans and other animals, such as Turbo, the Doberman Pinscher. Naturally, they also look out for their own. Video footage captured in 2008 showed a group of dolphins working together to form a life raft of sorts for an injured member of their pod. As Kyung Park and his colleagues from the Cetacean Research Institute in Ulsan, South Korea, observed a group of 12 dolphins swimming unusually close together, they noticed a female in the middle of the crowd in apparent distress. Her flippers seemed paralyzed, and she was wriggling around helplessly and from side to side in the water, sometimes turning upside down. For about a half an hour, the other dolphins supported her from underneath her body. Then 2 dolphins swam side by side, supporting her on their backs and enabling her to breathe by keeping her above the water. Eventually, the injured female dolphin assumed a vertical position. Some of the helper dolphins had swum away by then, but the remaining ones tried pushing her back into a position they could support her in. Unfortunately, she died, and 5 dolphins stayed near her and touched her body until she sank to her final resting place. Conflicting and unsure opinions resulted among researchers after the incident. While some believe the behavior of the dolphins indicates their ability to empathize on a level animals are generally not thought to be capable of, others see the seemingly compassionate act of helping an injured group member as a way for dolphins to attempt to keep their family strong or preserve their genes as best they can by preventing the deaths of relatives as much as possible. Number 1. Dolphins rescue teenager. In 2012, field biologist Madalena Berzi recounted a particular event that stuck out in her mind throughout her career. One day, as she followed a school of bottlenose dolphins in the waters off LA with her research team, one of the dolphins suddenly diverted away from the rest of its group and headed for deeper waters, an uncharacteristic behavior to the team, who routinely observed dolphins swimming in the shallow coastal waters. The rest of the pod followed suit, and the scientists struggled to keep their boat up with the fast swimmers. Finally, the dolphins stopped about 3 miles offshore and formed a ring around what the researchers could only identify as a dark object at first. The research crew then noticed what the hype was all about: a limp, seemingly lifeless body of a teenage girl, but she weakly signaled for help with her hand. They cut the engine of their boat and radioed to lifeguards, who advised them to wait and not to take any actions. But time was of the essence when it came to saving the girl's life, and an executive decision was made to pull the drowning hypothermic girl into the boat. There was no time to wait for the lifeguards, and the teenage girl was taken to the nearest emergency room. The multilingual crew attempted to no avail to communicate with the girl, but she didn't know English, French, or Spanish. She also had a plastic bag around her neck. Later, the researchers learned from an ER doctor that the girl was a German tourist visiting LA, and that the plastic bag around her neck had contained a suicide note. The doctor also told them that if they hadn't followed the dolphins and discovered the girl when they did, she would have certainly not have made it. Thanks for watching! Want more fascinating animal stories? Subscribe to Origins Explained and be sure to check out our animal rescue videos. See you next time! Bye!